Okay, Reddit, my favorite subreddit. This is my rig rundown video. It's about the end of February, and I waited all month to do it, so you get the cell phone version. This is my rig. This is my amplifiers, my guitar, pedal board, and the whiskey ginger ale. Cheers. The guitar is a 2007 American Telecaster. It's currently got a neck on it from my Made in Mexico Stratocaster because the neck is sanded down, and I wanted to try it out on this guitar. And it's already been pretty heavily bastardized anyways. I refinished it several times. It's on black right now, and it's worn down. It did look really good when I first did it, but now it's been on the road and dropped, and kids play with it, and kids drop it, and you know, it doesn't look super great anymore. It looks like I tried to relic it, but really it's just my bad job at refinishing it, you know, so it's worn there and where it rests on my leg. And yeah, anyways, still love it. It's stock other than the paint job and the pickguard and the pickups. Well, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, the hardware is stock. The switch is now a 5-way. That's a GFS fat PAF in the neck, and the original neck is moved to the middle, and combined that's my favorite setting, is when both of these two are on. The neck, when moved to the middle, kind of brightens it up quite a bit, and it sounds really cool combined with like a pretty dark heavy PAF pickup. So I play that pickup pretty low down, that's pretty high to kind of help with the brightness and clarity, and I put the bridge pickup pretty far down. I play it with 11 strings, or actually these might be the ones where it's like the 11 gauge strings on the heavier, and then I think these are like from 10s, and I'm liking those quite a bit. Like I said, it's a 5-way switch. It's almost never on just the bridge. In fact, I never played on just the bridge. It's always either these two, or sometimes just this one, but never just the neck and never just the bridge. If I could wire it again, I would wire it up so that it was just 3-way switching, where it was either this, and this, or you know, just this, or you know, or these two, this one, these two. Those are the only 3 I really use. The amplifiers, it's a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe up top. The Pine is aftermarket. I can't remember from where. But it was everything that was in there is just moved into there, and that's just an empty cabinet, and eventually I'll put a 12-inch speaker in there and, you know, run like one of those Quilter Interblock 45s, kind of have it as like a satellite amp set up for stereo. But right now I use that little Bugera V5 if I want to do stereo. I don't use that amp a whole lot except for playing stereo here at home, and it's got a headphone output, so if the kids are sleeping I will play stereo or play out of that to be quiet. But the pedal board is by a guy named Earfuzz. I found him on Reverb. He builds effects and amplifiers, but for this style of board he actually builds the cheapest I could find of that style, where it's like the aluminum trim, you know, aluminum C channel, and like just slick black with rubber feet on the bottom. That's a 12x24. He does really good clean work. It makes me want to buy one of his pedals or amps, because the workmanship on just a cheap pedal board was pretty impressive. I got a little light kit from IKEA underneath it. The Volante and the Empress, and actually the Ricochet as well, both sit on risers that I got from, what is that website? I don't remember, but I have a power supply underneath the Volante. It's a cheap one off Amazon, but it was the only one, any brand I could find that fit all my power requirements. And I mean, it was $34, so when it breaks I'll get a new one, and when I start playing more live again I'll probably upgrade it however I need to, but right now it gets the job done. So let's see, so I guess signal chain goes from the guitar. And it goes into first a little homemade junction box. You can't see it, and it's not super worth seeing. It's just a white one that I made. The guitar goes into that, and the Polytune's sitting on top of it. So it kind of works as like a nice pedal riser too for the Polytune. So it leaves the junction box and goes into my JHS Pulp and Peel, the version 2. I had the version 4 for a while, and I went to the version 2 because I feel like it gets a little squishier. And even though I don't go like full blast squish, I like to have it on tap for fun sometimes. But the project I'm kind of starting lately calls for a good bit of squish, so I kind of like it there. It's usually at about 2:30 or 3 o'clock on comp and blend, and volume just depends on the scenario. Let's see, signal leaves the compressor and goes into my squeaking Ernie Ball volume pedal. I use it to kind of emulate pedal steel licks sometimes, and also for volume swells with lots of delay and reverb and stuff. And I use the little side chain out to go to the Polytune, because I like to always have the Polytune on. And I don't notice the tones suck a whole lot, if at all. I don't really know. If I sat there and A-beat it side by side with and without, it might, but I don't notice it. And the string's never been a problem. I've had this particular volume pedal for 5 years, so either it's, some people get a dud, or maybe I'm just due for it and it'll happen. And if it breaks, I'll probably fix it. Although I've been curious about the Dunlop volume pedals. Anyway, signal leaves that and goes straight into a zoom. I don't use the zoom a whole bunch. I basically have it there to kind of catch all effects that I just need every now and then. So I use like the Electro Harmonics small clone. I use the tremolo on it, and I also use an auto-wah every once in a while and a vibrato every once in a great while. It's just a couple songs, that my current project does that calls for one of those effects. I use chorus on one or two, and vibrato on one little turnaround on one song, and so I don't want a dedicated vibrato, a dedicated chorus, and it's just such a small effects pedal. There's certain patches I use on there too that are super spacey, that I'll use for like my at-home playing, doing my ambient stuff. From that I go into the ricochet, and I have that usually on the major second setting, momentary, and to go up. So I'll use it for licks to kind of get close to like slide guitar. I mean, it doesn't sound very convincing as slide guitar there, but in a band mix, it gets close to kind of get some of that cool stuff. So it's fun for that, and that's almost all I use it for. Sometimes I switch it over to all the way on an octave if I'm doing like looping and stuff at home. Other than that, it just stays like that, and it comes on every now and then. Signal leaves there and goes into a blues driver that's usually set about like this. It's just a little bit of grit that I like to add usually. I have that on too. So it's just kind of touching on breakup, and if I ever switch the comp off, it cleans it up quite a bit too. Keeps it pretty mellow. This is a and that's the blues driver. I don't know if I said that, but I guess you can all recognize a blues driver. The Witch Elm Effects Dharma drive. Witch Elm Effects is my buddy's company, and I won't plug it too hard, but it's basically a Timmy that's been kind of modified a little bit and voiced a little bit, but the low and the high controls, instead of working as like roll-offs, or more like boosts, and the voicing switch pretty much works the same, or the diode switch rather, but it's also got a clean blend put into it as well as a boost. So when you put both of these on in the blues driver, you can get pretty aggressive. But it's a pedal I love. He built the first one because I told him I wanted kind of a Timmy, but he's like, cool, I'll build you a Timmy, but you gotta let me like tweak it. And I said, okay, we'll put a boost and a clean blend in it, and that ended up being about all he did, other than some minor changes, like I said, to how the low and high controls work, and he might have switched a few resistors or something, I think he said, but I love it, and I've played it against a Timmy, and I like it just a little bit better, but I love the voicing of Timmy, so I'll keep that pedal forever. I have a couple of them. We've got the original prototype he built. He makes a white one and a black one. But from that, I go into the Volante, and I haven't had the Volante very long. But I got it basically because I had a DD500, then a Strymon Dig, and neither one of those quite did everything I wanted to, and I kept missing my old El Kappa stand, so I got the Volante because I especially missed the sound-on-sound looping mode. And I usually have this set for kind of like dotted eighth and quarter, so you can see on the Volante you get the heads 3 and 4, gives you, you know. And I love it for that kind of thing, and the sound on sound mode is so much fun. So I'll turn all the echoes down usually on it, and just play on some basic stuff, a little reverb. Switch it to reverse and slow it down, start it up, it's fun. And then the Empress Reverb, it's usually on the mode you just heard, which is the modulated. Spring sound on it a little bit sparingly because the spring kind of sucks, so I've instead kind of moved more towards the room setting, just set pretty bright, because you got to get some early reflection sounds that kind of sound like drip, and honestly I feel like the room mode on that pedal does a better spring than the spring does. After that it just goes into an earthquake or hoof right at the end of the signal, and I do that if I just want to get a little shoegazy. Basically I can do the same kind of stuff I was just doing, and I'll just kind of have the fuzz on to just get a real dirty wall of soundy kind of stuff. So that's the basic tour of the board, the rig. And if there's any questions, I don't know if he's even gonna watch this, but I'm happy to record response videos if you guys have any specific questions about any of the pedals. I know I get a lot of questions about the Volante, and I haven't dove all the way in, but I've dove in a little bit. So any questions, let me know. But thanks for watching.